So hello everyone, Weird Guy with a Guitar, hello, and welcome to another episode of It Builds Character, rather, that's what I keep trying to say. So, what is It Builds Character? For those of you new here to the channel, who just joined from our giveaway, who are watching for the first time on YouTube, saw Leeroy Jenkins in D&D and said I have to see what this video is about. This is a weekly series. We're here live on Twitch. I build a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons character with you guys in the chat. I take suggestions for the builds, which is pretty much all of these have now been fan suggestions. And I build them, and I take input from you guys during the show live and make sure that what I envision as the character makes sense with what you guys envision. So the giveaway, I will put up the link in the chat for everyone. So if you want to check this out, I'll put the link in the description too. I usually have had it be the end cards as well, but fun fact, guys, I also just got in a whole box full of stuff for our giveaway that's happening after this giveaway ends. So I have a big old box of goodies to give away from you guys that I just received today. So that will be coming up for the giveaway that starts on the 24th of December after this other one ends. So, I think that's enough of the background. We did complete, I guess I'll put this out there. We just did complete Tomb of Annihilation last night. Here, I got right in front of me. Here's the Atropal that I made. The giant demon undead born baby god thing. This is the mini that I made for the game last night. Juice, I don't want to spoil things for everybody in case people haven't watched it, but did I say December? I meant January, my bad. 24th of January, sorry, I guess I'm still in holiday mode. 24th of January is this next giveaway. That will be, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's with some of our good friends, and it's a lot of cool stuff to give away, and it coincides with something that they're launching as well. So, that giveaway is the second giveaway starts on the 24th, the current one ends on the 19th. Last night was the final episode of Tomb of Annihilation. Whether they survived or not, you'll have to check out the video. It is available on VOD here on Twitch. You can go and check it. I have edited it. It is uploaded to YouTube. I will have it come out sometime over the weekend. But next week, this coming Tuesday, rather than rolling right into one of our new campaigns, oh man. So next week we're gonna be doing like a Q&A session and maybe playing some games. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna answer your guys' questions, just general questions. If you have questions about us as players, me as the DM, questions about Tomb of Annihilation, the campaign, questions about the characters, any of that kind of stuff, we'll answer those questions. We're also going to do a commentary and kind of like an impromptu review where I'm going to ask everybody kind of what they thought about the game, and we'll get my perspective from running it, their perspective from playing in it, things they liked, things they didn't like, things they want to change. I'm going to fix the roll thing because Juice keeps using it and it's never there and I feel bad. So I will, but yes, so we'll be doing the Q&A for that, and then when we run out of that stuff, we'll probably roll into a board game. We're looking at probably either doing Dungeons & Dragons Dragonfire, Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, or Rock, Paper, Wizard, one of the three. So they're all fun D&D themed board games that I have that we've all played a handful of times, and they are super fun. So we will we'll be playing one or some of those on Tuesday. And basically what's going to happen is the new campaign, we'll pull this up here, the new evil campaign that Jake is running starts on the 30th of January here. So that's going to be the last Tuesday of every month is Evil Campaign. It's a brand new campaign starting at level 1. Me, Sean, Celine. Pat says he's going to be back. That's Pat, you never know. But we're all starting a new campaign where we all are evil characters. And Jake's going to be running that game once a month. So that happens on the 30th. Also, as a heads up for you Curse of Strahd fans, our next episode of Curse of Strahd takes place on the 28th of January. So Sunday you'll get Strahd, then Monday you'll have D&D, then Tuesday you'll have a new campaign, and then while it builds character on Wednesday, it'll be a very D&D 4 days here on Nerd Immersion. And then the following Tuesday, February 6th, my son's first birthday, we are streaming D&D because that's how I roll. Also, his party's not till the weekend, and my wife said it's cool. So, but we're rolling into a brand new campaign, starting from scratch, level 1 in a completely homebrew world of my own design, and it is everything is made up. There's basically no pre-existing stuff. The only thing we kept is obviously the classes and the spells, and I kept the Faerunian Pantheon just because I like it and I don't feel like designing an entire set of gods. So that starts on the 6th. So the 30th and then the 6th, you'll get 2 back-to-back new campaigns. And then these are set to go for as long as they need to. There's no end date for those like the pre-written games are. So that is where we're at with that. And potentially, if this weekend goes well, we may start the slow rollout release of our Storm King's Thunder podcast. So we played through Storm King's Thunder here on the channel, but let's be honest, it was only Storm King's Thunder as per the book for a little while before Pat just let us do whatever we wanted and then the game ended. So, basically, we're playing through it again with me DMing with a different group of people that you guys haven't seen, but we're just doing it in audio podcast form. And we filmed about 8 hours of it already, but because we only play so infrequently with that group, I wanted to have more recordings in the can before I go ahead and start pushing those out to you guys. So, anyway, that's a thing that's going to come out soon as well. So, that is my little update for Nerd Immersion. I may just do a video, which is actually a good idea, like a state of the channel 2018, what's going on. So that's a great idea, Ed. Good job, me. I'm going to put that out soon. So, yeah, that's a thing that's going to happen, and then I'm also going to be... I've got a couple more. We finished all of the Xanathar's Guide to Everything subclass reviews. There is still Xanathar's Guide to Everything updates, videos that I still need to make, covering the magic items, covering the downtime, and all that good stuff. So that's coming out soon, as well as a couple reviews. I have the Classic Creatures Icons on the Realm Minis review. That is coming out probably tomorrow. And then Friday, the Dungeon Tiles Reincarnated releases. We're picking that up and doing a review on that as well. So there's going to be at least a new video coming out every day on the channel for at least probably all the way through and roll into next week. And I haven't decided the exact cadence of how this is going to go, but I'm bringing back Top 10 Tuesday for 2018. So there will be I will be attempting to have a top 10 video every Tuesday for you guys. Potentially with some feedback and input from some friends of mine from other shows and things to have them do top 10 videos as well. So there's a lot of new content coming out. And I realize that this is It Builds Character, not Ted tells you all the updates for Nerd Immersion. So that's done. That's enough of that. Let's talk Leeroy Jenkins. So, we're building Leeroy Jenkins from the famous WoW viral video. So, what do we know about Leeroy Jenkins? We know he likes chicken. We know he's a human. We know he's a paladin. So, paladin level 12. He's a human. His intelligence is an 8. His wisdom... he does a lot of... His wisdom is a 10. His dex is a 12. His constitution is a 13. His charisma is a 14. His strength is a 15. So, his proficiency bonus is a 4. He's a paladin. It's going to give him wisdom and charisma saving throws. He's a human. He's going to take proficiency in perception. He's going to take it in athletics. He's going to take it in persuasion. This is going to probably be relatively quick, mostly because I know Paladins very well. So that should be easy. So I thought about the, let's just get his background out of the way, right? So how about we do that? Okay, see, I don't play Hearthstone, so thank you, Zelda Master. Also, Zelda Master, man, welcome back. Or lady. I don't want to assume. I can't remember. But welcome back. I haven't seen you here in It Builds character in a while. I think I did see you last week, though, for the Link build, which is, I guess, sort of makes sense with a name like Zelda Master. Okay. Yes, he has the lowest intelligence. So let's see what kind of background. I think we're just going to make him a guild artisan, right? Because he was part of the guild. We'll kind of meta that a little bit. So, insight and persuasion. He gets another one because he has persuasion. Alright, well, I'm sorry to hear that about your Wednesday game, Zelda Master, that it died out. That's always a bummer. I hate when that happens. But I'm happy to have you here. So, let's give him performance. I think Leeroy can have performance. Because, I think that makes sense to me. Alrighty. So, Leeroy is a guild. Let's just put him as a guild member. Oh, he's a variant human, so we're gonna put this to 16. We're gonna put this to 14. And then to your guys' point, let's go jump over to feats. We're gonna give him the Charger feat. How about that? His variant human level 1 feat. When you use your action to dash, you can make a bonus action. They use a bonus action to make a melee weapon attack. There we go. That's how we're doing it. So, ability score improvements. Charger feat. There we go. So that works out pretty well, actually, given that. Also, if you guys, I'll put this up here for new folks as well as veterans alike. If you haven't been around for a while, that last link, so that link I just put up in the chat, bit.ly/IBC is the plan of all of the builds planned, all the builds that have come out and the builds that are planned for the future. bit.ly/IBC playlist is the link to the YouTube playlist of all the videos, and bit.ly/IBC sheets is all of the character sheets for every character I've built so far. So if you want to go back and reference something, or you don't have time to watch the full video and you want to see the final outcome, you obviously will get more insight into why things are the way they are if you watch the video, but if you want to just see the character sheet or see the, oh, you made up that magic item for that one character, what was it? You can just see it in all the character sheets. So there we go. Charger feat. Alright. So, let's see here. Leroy's gonna have a 20 AC. Gonna have a 30-foot speed. He's gonna have a 1 initiative because we're not gonna bump his intelligence or his dexterity. So he's gonna have divine sense. Yeah, there was a handful. Iron Man was a lot of theory crafting. To your point, Hypertroller. Hellboy was also a lot of theory crafting. So you think he'd be a Conquest Paladin? We can make that happen. Yes, Tingle is dangerously close to being built. Divine Sense. Action to sense. Feeding. Celestial. Dead. 6 feet. Tiger's Day. Hands. 6 points. well, Conquest Paladin was one of them. We might go with that, because I can't really... Leeroy clearly is not an Oath... I mean, I guess you could argue that he could be Oath of the Ancients, because he's kind of, like, depending on how you interpret Oath of the Ancients to be. He's clearly not a Devotion Paladin. I would say, based on just the tenets of the Devotion Paladin. You could maybe argue Vengeance, but you may be right. We may go Conquest. So, fighting style. Now, see, here's the thing. I don't know WoW. Never played it one day in my life. So I'm going off what I know from the video and what I know about deities. I'm going to rely on you WoW players in the chat to help me make sure what I build is accurate. So, I believe he wielded a sword. I believe it was a sword, and I think he had a shield too. I could be wrong. So I'll get your guys' opinion on as far as the saying tunnel fighter. Oh, okay, it was a great sword. All of a sudden he wouldn't have 20 AC, it will knock this down to 18. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'll give him great weapon fighting. I feel like that's the standard. Great weapon fighting. What's this? 1s and 2s and damage. And then divine health. Immune to disease. Alright, and then we're gonna just give him his ability score improvements. We're gonna say he's gonna get 64, he's gonna go to 16 charisma, 8, he's gonna go to 18 strength. Put a great sword in here. And then I don't know. Let's give Leeroy. Let's give him 20 strength. You can have 20 strength, Leeroy. Yeah, we'll keep it where it is. 5. This is 2. -1 intelligence. 0 wisdom. And 3 charisma. Yeah. Oath of the Crown. That's true. I didn't even think. I mean, he did. Oath of the Crown, though, is also heavily focused on defending others, and he really was not. He was all about just taking that aggro hardcore. So we'll go take a look, but let's fill in the rest of this at the moment. So this is gonna be 5. Actually, sorry, this is gonna be 8, 4. 2, 7, and then this is gonna be 6, 10. Cool. Now we'll go through and we'll fill out all of his skills real quick. Just get that out of the way. So, we've got that. Now let's go ahead, and you guys are saying maybe Xanathars. Let's see. Alright, so... Okay. So, if we look at Oath of Conquest, that seems to be what people are suggesting. Let's take a look at what you get. Armor of Agathis and Command spells, hold person, spiritual weapon, bestow, curse, fear, which is all the ones he's gonna have. Conquering Presence, as an action he can force a creature of his choice within 30 feet to make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened, or add a bonus to his hit ability. At 7, he generates a menacing aura. So if a creature is frightened of you, its speed is reduced to 0, and the creature takes psychic damage. And that's all he's gonna have from his base Paladin, or from his subclass Paladin abilities. He's definitely not a redemption Paladin, so he's not an emissary of peace by any means. I know the crown is you take the damage for other people, and everybody died. So I'm on board with Conquest Paladin. So let's go ahead and jump down and give him his spells. So Armor of Agathis. We'll say he used a command spell. Let's do this! And then everybody ran. And then, well, actually, no, that was probably more like a thaumaturgy. He just yells out loud. Still cursing. Spell saving PCs can be 17. Spell attack bonus, which will actually come into play for him as a Paladin, is 7. So he can prepare a grand total of 9 Paladin spells. Well, I think we're gonna give him Propel Duel for sure. So we'll throw that in there. Alrighty, so he's gonna get at level 3. He's gonna get Channel Divinity, and he gets Conquering Presence. Sickening Radiance isn't really a Paladin spell. If you want to think about Sickening Radiance, it's more like radiation damage than it is radiant damage. Presence, action, all creatures? Each creature, okay. Make creature of your choice within 30 feet. Make a wisdom saving. Frighten for 1 hit. Good save the end of the turn. Full orb. Strike. I really didn't think that ability was going to make it in. Because I felt that that ability is the exact same ability that the War Cleric has. So I thought that it didn't make sense that they would actually add that one into the final game, because I thought they were going to try to keep things, you know, unique. But they did not. Sorry, my phone's coming up, so... look at that. Getting all sorts of comments. Alright, so we've got Aura of Protection. Aura of Protection. And Charisma mod to saving throws. All allies within Menace. Menacing Aura. Aura of Conquest. I bet. Aura of Conquest. So 10 foot radius. If an enemy is frightened of you, its movement speed is 0, and it starts its turn radius damage equal to your training of you speed reduced to 0. Cool. Oh, half your paladin level. I'm sorry. Equal to half your paladin level. Chain lightning could not. The definition per Jeremy Crawford is if the spell has the ability to target more than one person. To your question, Hypertroller, about how would I roll chain lightning in twin meta magic, you can't do it. If the spell in its own nature has the ability to target more than one creature, it does not work. Like, you couldn't twin Scorching Ray, because Scorching Ray has the ability to target more than one creature. Yes, you could target only one creature with all 3 rays, but it has the ability to target multiple creatures. Just like you couldn't twin a Magic Missile, because Magic Missile has the ability to target multiple creatures. Again, you could target only one. Chain Lightning has the ability to target multiple creatures, therefore you cannot twin it. Which brings me to a point that I'm just choosing to ignore. Per his ruling, the new spell Dragon's Breath in Xanathar's Guide to Everything, where you touch one creature, and that creature can then breathe the Dragon's Breath weapon on their turn as an action. That spell, according to Jeremy Crawford, cannot be twinned, because whoever has the spell cast on them can target multiple creatures via the breath weapon. I disagree with that, because the breath weapon spell in and of itself, the spell targets a creature to give them the breath weapon ability. But that's his ruling, and he's the guy who made up the spells in the book, so I guess that's true too. I'm personally choosing to ignore it. Okay, Aura of Conquest, then we have our ability at 8, then we have new spells at 9, then we have Aura of Courage, allies within 10 feet are immune to fear. And then we have what's it called? Improved Divine Smite. Improved Divine Smite. All melee attacks deal an extra 1d8 radiant damage. Okay, that gets us. That's it. That's everything for Paladin. Let's jump up to Paladin. Make sure we have the spell slots correct. 4, 3, 3. Yep, that's kind of what I thought. 4, 3, 3. We don't get anything in Xanathar's because they hate giving Paladins spell options, which is bullshit, and I hate it because I love Paladins and they never get any new spells. But I guess you could argue, oh, Paladins don't really need spells because they can just use Divine Smite. Well, yes, I agree with you, but at the same time, that's dumb. So let's see. We got Paladin spells. We picked one, which was Compelled Duel. We have to pick 8 more between first and third level. It's hard to say because it's Leeroy, and as we stated earlier, he dies so fast we never find anything. So we're gonna give Leeroy Find Steed because every Paladin takes Find Steed, and also it's WoW and you can have mounts, so that makes sense. He's a Paladin. I assume Paladins in WoW can heal, guys, right? Back me up on this. I don't know. So we can assume he'll have at least one healing spell, I would imagine. I'll wait till you guys chime in there. We can give him Detect Magic, right? Okay, Smite spells, sure. We'll definitely go Thunder Smite because it's loud and obnoxious and alerts everybody that you're there. Alright, so we'll go. So here, how about this? Cure Wounds, Detect Magic. We'll go Thunderous Smite because it makes a loud noise and then everybody is notified that you're there. We'll go Wrathful Smite because it's actually a good spell. So that puts us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 3 more. Let's grab him a 3rd level spell. Maybe grab him Blinding Smite or Revivify. Yeah, whatever. You're a Paladin, you should have Revivify. But then we'll give him Blinding Smite. Give him Lesser Restoration. It's a heal spell. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3rd level healing. We could give him Aura of Vitality. I'm okay with that. I'm actually convinced to take out Compelled Duel because that makes them only fight you, and Leeroy aggroed everybody. So let's go ahead and give him Aura of Vitality. Lightning Lasso? Anyway, so this is where we're at. His spells: Cure Wounds, Detect Magic, Thunder Smite, Wrathful Smite, Find Steed, Lesser Restoration, Blinding Smite, Revivify, and Aura of Vitality. He also has his domain spells of Armor of Agathis, Command, Hold Person, Spiritual Weapon, Bestow Curse, and Fear. Those sort of make sense, so I'm on board with that. We have his ability score improvements. We're +2 strength, +2 charisma, +2 strength. We gave him the Charger feat for his variant human. We could see, his passive perception is a 14. We can do his hit points now too, which is going to be 8 times 11 is 88. So he's got 98 hit points. Okay, it's got 12 to 10 hit points. Alrighty, so now, obviously, this is a part where we're not going to dive too heavily into the minutia of the magic items, right? Because WoW and D&D are very different. You can only have so many things, but they were clearly in some sort of what I assume to be high-level raid. Again, I don't know, so I don't play WoW. But I think we can assume that he has a magic weapon. I think we can assume that he probably has magic armor. And I think that that's probably where we'll cut it, because I don't want to sit here and go through like what we do all the time where we start nitpicking away at items to give characters just to give them items. This is an MMO, right? So he's probably stacked to the brim with potions and items and all that stuff. So we could be here forever. Also, it didn't seem to matter because they all got wrecked. So, I'm thinking we'll give him probably, he had a great sword. So we'll probably give him potentially a +3 greatsword, maybe a flame tongue greatsword, so it's got a magic effect to it, possibly. We could give him a dragon slayer. Oh, we're building Leeroy Jenkins Eye Dragon from. This is It Builds character. This is our character building stream. We're currently building Leeroy Jenkins from the viral WoW video. So, I don't know. It might just be just a. Let's give him a +2 plate now. Sure, he's a. That's not unreasonable, right? So this will give him a 20 AC. And then, would it make sense for him to have a Dragon Slayer sword, right? That, because they were going into a dragon-based, like, encounter. I feel like that might make some sense. And then that can be his weapon of choice, and then we'll be good there, I think. If everybody... Okay, so we'll go with the, Dragon Slayer Greatsword. Okay. So, that works. Let's just make sure... let's make sure I grab the right stats for it real quick. +1 sword does 3d6 to dragons. Makes sense. Alright. +1 great sword. 3d6 to dragons. So we'll go here. So his attack bonus, it's a +1, so his attack bonus is a 10. Gonna do 2d6 plus 1d8 because he's a paladin. And then we're gonna put a little caveat there. And additional 3d6 dragon. I think that's probably where we're gonna cut it, guys. I can't really think of too much else to add to him that we're not just, again, as I've stated countless times on this show, we're building a character, but we're building a character in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. So we built him using point buy. We can see his stats array: 20, 12, 14, 8, 10, 16. We can see his skills choices here. We gave him an armor class of 20 because he was probably had, in D&D terms, at least +2 armor. He only has 98 hit points because they do go down pretty quick. He's a paladin, a human paladin. So that gives him Divine Sense. It gives him 60 points of Lay on Hands. We gave him Great Weapon Fighting to focus on his Great Sword. He's Immunity to Disease because he's a Paladin. His Channel Divinities because he is an Oath of Conquest Paladin are Conquering Presence and Guided Strike. He has Extra Attack because he's a Paladin. And he has Aura of Protection, which has his Charisma modifier to all saving throws, his saving throws, and his allies within 10 feet. Aura of Conquest, if he frightens somebody and they're within 10 feet of him, their speed becomes 0, and they take psychic damage if they start their turn there, equal to half his paladin level. If allies are within 10 feet of him, himself included, they are immune to fear, which I feel like makes sense because Leeroy clearly had no fear. He is an 11th level paladin. Well, he's a 12th level paladin, but at 11 he gets improved Divine Smite, which means every melee attack that he makes does an extra 1d8 radiant damage. We gave him the Charger feat to accentuate the fact that he rushes in. So when he dashes, he can make a melee attack. If he moves 10 feet in a straight line, he gets a bonus to the hit on that. We gave him a +2 plate mail and a Dragon Slayer Greatsword, so the +1 Greatsword does an extra damage to dragons, as that's what he was there to deal with. And the spells we gave him that weren't from his domain were Cure Wounds, Detect Magic, Thunderous Smite, Wrathful Smite, Find Steed, Lesser Restoration, Blinding Smite, Revivify, and Aura of Vitality. I think that's pretty much going to do it for old Leeroy here. Again, it's a cool thing to try and build, and I like where people's heads are at, but the fact that he was built as a class in a game where the class matches a D&D class makes us kind of want to go that way. And at the same time, that video was so short, and we didn't even, I guess the main thing is, we didn't see it from Leeroy's perspective, right? We saw it from the guild leader's perspective. Had we seen it from Leeroy's perspective, we'd have a little better options to figure out what we could give him, because we would know what items he'd have, we know what boons he would have. We don't know that. We just kind of get what we can see from the ally. So, let's go. Here. I didn't put in link from last time, that just came out today. So, again, just to do a quick once-over here, guys, here's where we're at with the Built's character. You can see we've missed a couple for various reasons over time, but all the links here are for the episodes that have released. The link from Legend of Zelda episode just released earlier today, so that I will put that in here, so you can see all the previous episodes. You see Leeroy Jenkins was today. I will before we end here. Next week I'm building Ghost Rider, the Marvel superhero, which should be interesting. Then we have Tingle from Legend of Zelda, and you can see we can go down here. Kenshin, Captain America. Yeah, he could be an Conquest Paladin. You know, we can see we got Red or Ash from Pokemon, Doctor Strange, Hal from Howl's Moving Castle, John Constantine. We have some biblical figures appearing in here. We've got Samson appearing here. I'm not going to PAX South, to answer your question. We got Wargreymon from Digimon, someone asked me to put in here. So that's going to be happening. Beowulf, Flapjack. We got all manner of the Doctor. It's going to be interesting. But it's funny, when we started this way back in July, on my birthday no less, when I did the first stream for Trevor Belmont, it seemed like forever away that we'd be in 2018 building these characters. And here we are. So, anyway, oh, and I did put these in here. If you're curious and you wanted to see the Venture Maiden stream that I played on, which is why we didn't play that this week, the links to those episodes are here, so you can check that out. And speaking of, the Venture Maidens are live right now, so I'm going to go jump over to that channel, which is twitch.tv/don'tsplitthepodcast, because they're my buddies, and they're just starting the new episode. They're actually about a half an hour in to their new campaign, or their new arc of their existing campaign that just started today. So I'm going to go jump over there to support them. You guys can feel free to go. I would say I do a raid, but every time I attempt to do a raid, it's like me and Hypertroller and nobody else. So I think I'm just going to say, if you guys want to go check out that video, you can. I'll put a link here in the chat. If you guys want to go check out their videos. Also, if some of them seem familiar, that's because Brittany from that show is on every other Monday in the Princess of the Apocalypse game. She plays Lilith Helder. Oops, I didn't put Don't Split. That should be a Don't Split. Yeah. So she plays Lilith in our Princess of the Apocalypse game. That's Brittany. And if you guys were part of the 24-hour stream or saw that, Tank, the Warforged fighter, was played by Celeste, who is the DM of that game. But there's going to be some more stuff happening with myself and the Venture Maidens in the future. Definitely going to be some awesome stuff going down at Gen Con, because we're all going to hang out together at Gen Con. So, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this It Builds character. Be sure to come back next week where I build Ghost Rider. And be sure to submit questions to us if you haven't. You don't have to if you don't want to. For the kind of discussion, again, we're going to be candidly talking about Tomb of Annihilation next Tuesday. So if you have questions about the campaign that we played, or questions about the campaign in general, I know it pretty much backwards and forwards, or you just have questions you want to ask me, or questions you want to ask me, questions you want to ask the players, and any of that stuff. Or if you want to see us play some cool D&D themed board games like Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, be sure to come check out next Tuesday. So anyway, guys, thank you for coming out for this episode of It Builds Character for Leeroy Jenkins. So, as promised, let's do this! Leeroy Jenkins!